Let's take a deep dive into references. References are one of my favorite tools to keep ideas connected together, especially while I'm still learning them, as it helps paint a more complete picture of my studies. Let me point out some advantages for making references. So first, making a rem into a reference encourages you to recall if you've already learned an idea elsewhere. It helps you connect the dots between your thoughts. And by doing this, a reference forces you to acknowledge if you're just memorizing a concept by name or if you actually understand what it means. Again, this is because you're actively making connections between your thoughts. Another reason would be that references allow you to think of ideas in relation to your other ideas. And finally, RemNote's spaced repetition algorithm actually groups cards together based on your references. So the tool wants to help you bridge the gaps in your knowledge, and it will present cards to you in your queue more effectively if you use references. Now let's talk about making references, because they can be a bit confusing to set up properly. To make a reference, type open bracket, and then enter the desired rem to reference. You can also highlight any text and type one open bracket to turn something into a reference. RemNote will provide suggestions of text you've made in the past, but let's just make a new one for demonstration's sake. I'll name this one Test 1 and hit enter. The reference has now been created and turns into a concept as noted by the capitalization of the first letter. We can verify it has been created by hovering our cursor over the reference. If we click the reference, we enter it as a document, similar to clicking into a bullet point from the last lesson. And just like a concept, you can add 2 colons to add content to this rem, and you can add children as well. If we go back to the previous page and now hover over the reference, it will display the content. You can toggle an option in the settings if you'd rather preview an entire document with a hover instead of just the content. If you choose instead to reference a rem or text that you've already created, as I'll show you now, it will insert that into the current document. Hovering over it will display the content and breadcrumbs associated, and clicking on it will bring you to that rem. On the right hand side of that rem, you'll see all the instances of that rem that you've referenced, and you can search through them. So this is a really cool way to link multiple ideas together, move between them, and also keep track of where you've written them before.